Hello, Tube and other reading enthusiasts watching this video on YouTube. I'm Tim, and this is the first episode of Tim's Reads. I'll try to do this daily, hopefully on Fridays, where I show what I've been reading and what I'm planning on reading over the next week. So to start off with, I just finished a book this morning. I finished it on my Kindle. I'm pulling it up right now. Still pulling it up. I know I wasn't prepared with that. The book is The Hound of the Baskervilles by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The book is fifth in the Sherlock Holmes series, third novel in the series. It's pretty much about Baskerville Hall is the state in the southwest England area, where it's adjacent to a moor, which is like you have big rock or granite tors, and then they get a lot of rain there, and bog storm, which can suck a person into it and stuff. Well, anyway, in the story, there was a legend of a former resident of Baskerville. Of course, the last name was Baskerville. That had kidnapped a woman and was holding her hostage in Baskerville Hall, and when he had her locked up in a room upstairs there, and he was drinking and carousing with friends downstairs, and while they were doing that, she managed to get out the window of the room, and assisted by the ivy growing up the side of it, to go down and escape. Well, he had gone up to find her, and when he noticed that she had escaped, he started chasing her, saying that he said give anything to get her back. Well, anyway, he starts chasing her. He lets out his dogs to chasing her on the moor, and she. I think that with the dogs chasing her, I think one of them got her. Well, anyway, there was somebody said that was one hound by him that looked like a devilish hound, bigger than the rest and stuff, when he was riding, and it attacked him and killed him. This was all done on the moor. Well, here it is. Now we come to the time of the story, which is over a century later, and she allowed that, and the legend is that allowed the Baskervilles that lived in this state were dying, and so they moved away from there because there was a curse on it. Well, anyway, then finally Sir Charles Baskerville came back after making money in South Africa, and was renovating it and stuff, and being generous in the community. Well, anyway, all of a sudden one night he was killed. He was over by the moor and stuff, and along there, and people have said that they heard a hound howling. And well, anyway, he was found along a path that he'd walk along, and there wasn't anything around him except for his own footprints that they saw. And there was no mark on him, so they weren't sure how he was found. They figured it was his heart because a good friend of his that was a doctor has said that he did have heart problems. So air moves there, and they asked Holmes and Watson to help help them out, try and figure it out. And Holmes sends Dr. Watson there to stay with the heir, which is Sir Henry Baskerville, and got to be friends with them and stuff. Dr. Watson did, and he was meeting the neighbors and stuff. But there kept being warnings for Henry to move. Well, anyway, the book just follows along what he finds, and some twists and turns in the story. I gave it 4 stars for the book. It was a pretty good read. Another book that I am reading that I'm close to finishing, I'll finish it today or tomorrow, is Dolly, My Life and Other Unfinished Business. It's a autobiography by Dolly Parton. Trying to get it to you. Don't have all the glare. This book is pretty good. She's telling it's an autobiography by her, written back in the 90s, and she's talking about writes about her childhood and her struggles getting into the music business and becoming a big star and stuff. And she ties in a lot of humor in with it. I've not really been enjoying this book. Like I said, I should finish it later today or tomorrow. Okay, the book I'm starting to read, I decided I'm reading one regular book and one e-book at a time. Instead of reading several at a time, I'll just limit it to 2, and I'll just alternate chapter from one and chapter next. I'm starting to. One nice thing about I like to read classics, and I've decided I'm going to try having a classic being going most of the time on one of my for one of the books. I will read some new books every once in a while off them newer books, but one nice thing is I like to get for classics I usually get stuff that's in the public domain, and Amazon and Barnes & Noble both have books that are like compilations of books by authors, or a compilation of books by various authors that you can get for paying for $1 or $2, if not for free. Well, this is one that I got. It's the Andrew Lang. All the fairy books, there's 12 of them. Each one are compilations of fairy tales in them. And so I'm going to start reading the Blue Fairy book, which is the first one that he wrote, and it has some common fairy tales in it. I'm seeing if I can get it to where you can see it's showing the number of pages there is what I'm trying to show you. I can't get it down there too well, but there's 2,433 pages in there. But for on Goodreads, I'm just listening it as each separate book instead of doing it as this full book altogether. That way I can, because each of these books are around 200 pages, which is a good-sized book. And I'm going to be reading them in order of when they were published, and I'll be doing that with the other compilations. I have quite a few between here and on the Kindle. And then after I get done with Dolly, the imprint book I'm doing, or the regular book I'm reading, is A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryce, and this is about the Appalachian Trail, and it ties humor in with it also. And then when I get done with the Blue Fairy book, I figured that might be a quick read. Going back to the Kindle, let me get that book now. Pulled up. Come on, I just put the book on here this morning. But there it is. This is a newer book. It's A Scorpion's Nest by Nate Granzow. I thought it looked interesting. I got it for free off of Amazon. It's a thriller. And then after I'm done with Walk in the Woods, if I get to it this week, I'll be doing Firefox by Craig Thomas, of course. This was made into a movie like in the late 70s, early 80s, starring Clint Eastwood. It's about a new technology Soviet plane that's all mind controlled pretty much. But the thing is, you have to think in Russian, and they bring in Clint Eastwood's character, who is of Russian descendancy, and former fighter pilot, and they recruit him to go into Russia and steal the plane. Well, that's all I have for you this week. Until next time, take it easy and keep on reading.